Hello guys, this is the PrinceofMacedon, and I'm doing a commentary video for Men of War. This is the multiplayer battle. I command the Americans, and my opponent is BOH.Rambo in command of the Japanese. Right there, my opponent just rolled out a Cheeto tank, that's a Type 4 tank, and I destroyed that with my Hellcat tank destroyer. Well, actually there I destroyed it with my Hellcat tank destroyer. And you can hear that sound of a mechanized vehicle coming, and that is a Chi-Nu tank, and I destroyed that also with my Hellcat tank destroyer. And there is a recap on the major armored action that you missed at the very beginning. I'll let you read that yourselves. But you can see that Chi-Nu took out 2 of my Shermans. Not a very pleasant experience. Anyways, this is the Winter Church map. And in the center of this map is the Winter Church. It's very pleasing to the eye. Very wintry. And most of the action will take place right here. And there's a little gun battle going on right now. And my opponent's trying to take the center away from me. I initially had it. And right there, my opponent's Chi tank just took out my Hellcat. And I also lost tons of my infantry at the same time. So I have another Hellcat, and I also have a Pershing tank. Here's my Pershing tank. That is a very heavy tank. And I'm going to come up here. And right in the very back you can see a Japanese tank, and we are going to try to take that bad boy out. That is a Chi tank, and finally I took out the Chi tank. The Chi tank, that was a Type 5 tank, a very advanced tank, but it was actually never built. I think they built a prototype, but that was made to replace the Type 4 Cheeto tank. But it never saw action, of course, because it really never left the prototype stage. Alright, there's a Japanese tank crew right there firing at my guys, and I'm going to bring up some of my infantry to combat it. He took out my first dude, but my guys took out his dude. My guys are carrying the Thompson gun. It's a very classic gun. And that little wrecked tank right there, I decided to throw an anti-tank grenade at it. And you see that? That was my opponent's Horo self-propelled gun, and that just wiped out a crapload of my infantry. That was like an entire squad of infantry. Very devastating. But I will try to take out that Horo later, if I have the resources to. Anyways, the Horo seems to be a very popular SP gun online. And he has that right there on the hill in the very back. And I will try to deal with that thing later. You can see it, there it is. That's the Horo. I'm just going to call it a Ho for short. And there's some Japanese infantry firing at my guys. I'm trying to retake the center here. A lot of gunfire though. So I'm trying to toss some grenades out there. Just trying to see if I can flush out the Japanese troops from there. And there, I think... Oh, here's what happened. His Horo fired at my guys, and that took out a lot of my infantry. So a lot of my infantry losses are the result of his Horo firing indirect fire at my guys. So it's a very devastating weapon. And the Horo, that was built by Mitsubishi, and that saw combat in the Philippines and in Okinawa, but not in very big numbers. Right here I have a pair of Pershing tanks. Alright, so I'm going to bring these bad boys forward here. And I'm going to push that Sherman tank right out of the way. And I'm going to try to assault the center there. That's under Japanese control right now. But there's only minor resistance there. And right there's a Horo, and right there's also a Chi tank. And that Chi tank, it was deployed there to ward off a flank assault on the hill. So I'm going to try to target that Chi because I don't think my opponent knows that I can see it there. So there I destroyed that Chi, and it never even got to fire against me. So that was a blessing. Alright, there I believe that was the Horo. Yes, it was the Horo. It damaged the track on my Pershing tank, so I can't back up with it. I gotta repair the track, which is what I'm doing right now. Alright, so here's the situation. I got 2 tanks, one's a tank destroyer, and I've got a tank crew lurking around, and I've got an SMG infantry squad. There they are. We're going to see what's up here. I'm going to stand by that little tank right there. That's a Japanese tank. And I have 2 of the flag points right now. And if you check that out, my opponent just whacked my Pershing tank, but it's still able to be fixed, so he didn't completely destroy it. Anyways, this is like battle zones type, once again, so you get points by controlling the battle zones. You don't get anything for destroying a tank or infantry or whatever. Sure, it's good to deplete the numbers of the enemy, but yeah, the objective here is to get as many flag points as possible and hold them for as long as possible. Alright, right there, that is a self-propelled gun. And I'm going to try to destroy it with my infantry right there. And just before I was able to destroy it, my Pershing tank took care of it. And that, by the way, that was a Ho-Ni 1 tank destroyer. And I believe that did not have a machine gun attached to it. It was only a gun, and that was a 75mm gun. And those were designed because the main Japanese battle tank at the time wasn't strong enough to take on the Sherman, so they needed a tank destroyer with a big gun on it. And that first saw action also in the Philippines. Okay, so I have 2 of the flag points, and my opponent has 1. And here I have 2 Hellcat tank destroyers, and I'm going to try to maneuver around the opponent's flank here on this side. And I want to go towards my opponent's hill so I can take out that Ho-Ro firing at my guys. The Ho-Ro is what's causing me the most casualties because it's targeting my infantry. And there's like 3 minutes left, so we're going to make a determined drive towards the hill. But right here, look at my first Hellcat. It's about to get ambushed by Japanese infantry. And because of the open turret, it's easy to take out. And I'm going to just push that thing out of the way. And I'm not going to stop with my second Hellcat because I'm pretty sure those Japanese infantry will destroy it. And right there is the opponent's Ho-Ro. So we're going to try to blast it. And bam, took it out. Alright, so I'm going to try to move out of there. And right there I got shot by something. And for some reason, I couldn't highlight my tank destroyer anymore. Look at that. Can't highlight it. So, and here's even more mysterious. My guy, he gets unloaded from the tank destroyer, and I did not do that, as far as I know. And once my guy got out of there, the Japanese dude put his crew in there. So I tried to retake it, but he runs my dude over. So that's road raging, 40 style. Okay, so I have my Pershing tank. There's 2 minutes left, and that's my last remaining armored unit. And I'm pretty low on money. Actually, I can't build any more armored units because I have very little money. But there, I'm trying to repair some of those Japanese tanks. So I'm going to try to recycle the enemy's tanks there and use it for my own benefit. So there's 1 minute and 40 seconds left. And here comes my Hellcat, controlled by the Japanese. He destroyed my track, but I destroyed the Hellcat in its entirety. So I'm glad that's the only damage that my opponent did with my captured Hellcat. Because that would have been really upsetting to lose my Hellcat and then have the opponent do major damage with a Hellcat. So, as far as I know, my opponent doesn't have very much money left either. But I'm pretty well off, and I'm still repairing those Japanese tanks. So that maybe I can use them. But with only 1 minute left, I probably won't be able to repair those before the timer runs out. Here I'm taking one of my infantry dudes, and I'm going to scout out my opponent's last remaining flag point. Alright, so I'm going to crawl my dude over there. And that little red arrow that you just saw for like a second, that's a Japanese vehicle, and I believe that's my opponent's other Ho-Ro. And there's only 43 seconds left. So here's my dude, I'm just going to crawl him over here. And we'll see what my opponent has in a second. And yes, that is a Ho-Ro. Not that one, but the other one on the very left. It just disappeared because of the fog of war. So there's like 25 seconds left. There's no way my opponent can catch up now. Because what he has to do is capture one of my flag points, and then he has to hope that his points like rise dramatically, but that's not going to happen. Not with 13 seconds left. And my opponent had one Japanese infantry dude there, and I took him out. And my opponent's Ho-Ro just fired at my guy with a direct shot, I believe. But because my guy's on the reverse slope, a direct shot's not going to hit my guy. And you can see on the results that my opponent had more kills than me, but I won because this was a battle zone scenario.